everybody. I'm Dr. Swati Chakraborty, platform moderator for Web Platform for Dialogue. I'm also faculty for School Guru Edusuf Private Limited for Human Rights and Women Studies. I'm also attached as an international fellow for organization named KAISEED based in Vienna. It's a wonderful opportunity in the time of pandemic that we would like to initiate a program that called Web Platform for Dialogue, where we can actually able to listen from the very expert and the resource person regarding their experience, and we can have the opportunity to link with them directly for some upcoming ideas, upcoming research work. Today is our great opportunity that in this 15th August, that India's Independence Day celebration, and this is the 74th Independence Day for today's India's celebrating, the entire nation is celebrating, though it's not the mood of celebration, but still, as an Indian, we are very, very privileged to celebrate particularly today's event. We all are maintaining physical distancing and we all are maintaining the celebration in an online mode. So let's start this wonderful evening with Firdous Ahmed Malik, a doctoral fellow in the Department of Economics, Babasaheb Bhimrao Ambedkar Central University, Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh in India. I really welcome those for today's talk. And today's topic is very interesting and very important topic. How inclusive are financial inclusion policies in India? Urban Poor, a study of Lucknow and Kolkata. So I welcome Firdous for today's webinar series in the month of August for the Platform for Dialogue. And I request all of you, please raise your question, your observation for today's presentation, because it's very important for him. He is a doctoral fellow, so it's his PhD topic. So kindly give your valuable input, valuable suggestions, and of course your questions. But I request all of you to please raise your question at the end of the discussion. So we will definitely give you the opportunity to ask the speaker directly, and you can write in the chat box. Now I open the floor particularly for our speaker, Firdous.
Thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. A very good evening to all of you. Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, audible.
Yeah. So I am very thankful to Web Platform for Dialogue who have provided me an opportunity. And a special thanks to Professor Swati who have arranged this meeting. And I am very thankful to all the participants for patiently waiting for the talk. So now I will directly talk about my topic which I am going to deliver, which Ms. Swati has already mentioned. I will be talking about that how financial inclusion policies are inclusive in India. It is a case study, a comparative study of two urban groups from Lucknow and Kolkata. So these two urban groups are slums and beggars. Before I will proceed, I would like to give you a brief introduction or briefage about the key variables of my study, which is financial inclusion. So I have made a question mark what financial inclusion is. Although financial inclusion has been explained by various agencies in the world from time to time, such as World Bank, RBI, and other central banks of the different countries. So the precise and simple definition of financial inclusion means to have a banking access of all financial services at a low minimum cost, irrespective of color, creed, sex, and religion. So my next key variable is slum dwellers. I am talking about slums. So the definition and precise definition of slums is that these are the informal settlements, informal populations who are settled in urban areas with crowd and are living in bitter conditions. They are having too much vulnerabilities in their socio-economic, lives. So I will share some figures. In India, we are having 17% of population who are living in slums or in urban areas but are living in the name of slums. And one of the, study area is Uttar Pradesh, Lucknow of mine study. So it is, showing that we are having 6 million slums who are living in Uttar Pradesh. As per census 2011, India is having total 65 million of slum dwellers. So the other key term is now who are beggars. These are also the urban poor beggars I am talking about. Beggars are those people who are asking for money, who are asking for clothes, who are asking for food and whatnot. And the population figures are we are having 41 lakh 41,000 beggars, 4 lakh 13,670 beggars as per the census of India 2011 living in India. And the top beggars, highly densated, densely, beggars are living in the state of West Bengal, 81,000. And the next top is in Uttar Pradesh, 65,835. So these are the, some figures which are talking about these urban poor, populations. So before I will start, the motivation of this study is that to check how inclusive are recent financial inclusion schemes among slum dwellers and beggars in Lucknow and Kolkata. This study tries to answer this question that government has recently, announced from 2014 we are having different financial inclusion schemes.
Yeah, we
So
can't
this,
able to hear you, I think.
you are not hearing me. Hello.
Firdous, can you please switch off your video? So I think net will be good. Internet connection will be good.
I will off my video. Hello.
Yes. If you can off your video, the bandwidth will be good. So we can able to
Okay.
hear you properly. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. Okay. 1 minute.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yeah.
You can proceed.
Okay. Thank you. So the motivation of this study was to find answer that whether our financial inclusion schemes are inclusive and what is their performance. Actually, since 2014, Government of India during various budget sessions they have announced various financial directly financial related schemes. These are Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana scheme. There is Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana scheme. There is Pradhan Mantri Jan Jeevan Suraksha Yojana scheme. There is Atal Pension Yojana scheme. These are various schemes which I am going to analyze in this study. I have already analyzed it, but I will share with you the results. What is their performance and how is their richness. So this is the motivation of this study. So yeah, before moving proceed, I wanna share with you some previous studies, their findings, and what are their consequences, what are their findings, what are their understandings about financial inclusion. The very first point: building financial resilience. Financial studies or financial related inclusion studies or papers, research work, projects. They are talking about that if we are having financial inclusion, it will help us to come out of poverty, come out of vulnerability. It will develop standard of the people. It will increase growth and development. As per the World Bank, we are having 1.7 billion adults who are lacking these formal financial services. Both these resilience and vulnerability, which I am talking about, if we are having resilience, we are having absence of poverty. We can be able to decline the vulnerability, the problems of inequality. We can decline. So these are the two sides of the same coin: resilience and vulnerability. So at a time we can watch only one side of the coin. So we hope that we have a better financial resilience. And this financial inclusion, what is it is objective. Why world wants financial inclusion? Financial inclusion helps an individual to fight shocks. So let me explain what type of shocks and what is the role of financial inclusion. For example, if we talk about this COVID-19 pandemic, because of this pandemic, it has shocked the economies. So here we are talking about the manpower. It has shocked in India. If we talk about the migrant workers, they are in shock. They have lost their jobs. They have lost their incomes. So if they are having better financial inclusion, they will be capable to fight these shocks. So moving, I'm going back, I think. Yeah, the road map of today's presentation. In today's presentation, I will be talking about some introductory factors of the city. Then I will discuss financial access of major financial products with respect to slums who are living in Lucknow and Kolkata. Then in second stage, I will talk about beggars, and I will discuss the same banking access and major financial products within the both cities. In third section, I will be discussing what are the fundamental variables which are determining financial access, financial inclusion with respect to these urban poor groups. Then finally, I will share some statistics. I will discuss the binary logistic regression model. Lastly, I will share with you findings and conclusion. So this is the roadmap of today's presentation. So let me give a brief introduction and some valid findings, or brief heads of the presentation. It is believed that financial inclusion will help us in economic well-being and development. It can help us to smooth our income. It can protect us from the risks. It can increase the opportunities among the people to have better opportunities so that they can invest, and it can generate the overall well-being and development of an individual and also for the economy. Efficient financial inclusion system. If we have efficient financial system, it can definitely reduce the poverty. It can definitely come down or reduce the income inequalities in the country. So these are past studies. I am sharing with you some literatures which are factful, proved findings of different papers, research works. So there arises a question that if we are celebrating today independence, 74th year of our independence, why still poverty persists in a country? And the same question is for the global world. Why poverty is persisting? The problem and the answer to this question has given by several researchers and academicians. They are asking, these policies and these programs are they are supply oriented programs. They are not demand driven. What poor people need is that is absent. There is big mismatch between supply oriented schemes or programs and the demands of the people. Lastly, the fourth point I want to discuss before I will proceed in my introduction, that these supply oriented products, if we talk about financial inclusion, these are market based. For example, if we see, try to understand financial products like insurance, like saving bank accounts, the charges and the nature of these products from the banking side. Banking is a disciplined institute which are believing in profits. It is an organization which are doing businesses for their profits. Same problem is with these schemes or policies. Their motive is how they will generate revenues. So they are always trying to design their products with the approach that they should earn profit. So by designing their products with the motto that they will earn profits, it makes a big problem or big mismatch. The product's motive should be to reach poorest of the poor, so that we can include them into financial inclusion rather than exclusion. But if we look that modern digitalization in the banking sector, we are having different apps like Google Pay, ATM, Paytm, and various other apps. These are innovations, and scholars and research people are believing that these innovations can curb this poverty, they can reduce, and it is making banking easy for the people. But my argument here is, because of these advanced innovations, yes, it is having a positive benefit that we can make banking easy. If we take the example again, example of this pandemic, people are not moving to move to allow people are not being allowed to move outside the homes, so they can enjoy digital apps, they can make transactions and all. But this study is representing the urban poor whose condition is very bitter. They are not in a position to use these apps. They don't have this resources to use these apps. So my argument here is, by advancement of technology and innovations, it it becomes a hurdle which increases a big gap between poor and rich. So let me keep this point here. I will move ahead. So the literature. So what are the literatures with respect to my study that I have already talked about, that there are demand factors which are explaining financial inclusion. So there are some key variables which are more responsible to the financial inclusion, like age of the person, education of the person, gender and ability of the person, which defines financial inclusion of the person. Lastly, awareness of the people and self-employment and income, gender, they are having also a positive and significant role in determining financial inclusion and financial access. These are the some international studies which have made focus on these key pointers, that these are the responsible factors which are explaining financial inclusion. Let us see what is happening in our study further. So the core objective of our study is to investigate financial excess of urban destitutes. Those are slums and beggars in the both cities and Lucknow and Kolkata. Our hypothesis is that due to lack of awareness and problems of illiteracy among these very poor people, they are they are having limited use of financial inclusion participation. So this study is the studies is from Lucknow and Kolkata. The sample size in case of beggars is this, in case of slums is 300 samples from both cities, 150 from Lucknow and 150 from Kolkata. Similarly, in case of beggars, we have 50-50 samples from both the cities. Simple stratified random sampling have been used while collecting the samples. And the methods, which I have used descriptive statistics, I have used chi-square and binary logistic regression model. So now let me discuss about some basic descriptive statistics about financial, banking access and financial products with respect to slums in both the cities. If we look about this first figure, it is about awareness of financial products. And in the base vertically, it shows, how many, if we see, first to this histograms, it shows saving bank account. So it talks about awareness of financial products. With respect to financial products, in case of slums, only 46.33%, this figure shows, these people among slums are, aware about that, yes, there is, banking account, saving bank account is there. They are having concept, yes, banking in banks, there is, saving bank account. 53% don't know about this. Similarly, the other product of the banking products, financial products requiring deposits. How many people are aware about deposits? 0.33, 99.67% are unaware. If you now look, besides this first variable saving bank account, 46%, 46.33%. So it is a good average, good percentage. But if you look other products, they are 99%. The big histos shows that they are not aware about these products. They're like fixed deposits, general credit card, any other bank loans, credit card, public provident fund. So I will skip it. You will see the 90% people are unaware in all these. So similarly, if we talk about now holding of financial products, how many here people are aware? 46% people are aware about bank account. Now here we will see how many people among them who are aware are having bank account. So it shows only 17.33%. 46.33% are here aware, but here only 17.33% people, both from Lucknow and Kolkata, in slums, among slums, are having bank account. 80% don't have. Similarly, holdings. In case of holdings, the other variables, they are, more than 90% people don't have any product, don't have, are not holding any product. Now moving towards the, third picture, it is transactions of financial products. Now, 17% people are having here bank account. Among these 17% people, only 13.67% people are making transactions, like saving in them as a money, withdrawing money from them. The rest of the products, again, they are not making any transactions, neither they have taken any loan. So these figures shows these are, they are out of financial inclusion. Now let us move ahead. So then I have asked a question that what are the reasons why don't you have a bank account? So the maximum 98% people told we don't have money to open a bank account. And the other 0.33% claim that they don't have necessary documents to open a bank account. The other related question which I have asked to them, that banking facilities, services availed, banking facilities, which services, if they are 17% people are having banking account, what other services they are having access among the 17%? 8% people are having debit card or ATM. Rest there is a big zero, and 92% does not have any access. So similarly, if you move towards the other question, reasons for not availing remittances, the 90% people here again told that they don't have money. 4% people claimed that they are lacking knowledge about these products. 0.33% people told that it involves high cost, and so on. If you see, the figures are very less. So moving ahead to the next question, why you have not availed credit or loan facility? 10% people told that we don't need any credit. 29% are does not have knowledge about how to get credit. 6% people told that the procedures are difficult to get the credit, and 0.60% people availed credit from other unregulated sources. They have get credit from friends and others, but not from formal financial institutions. So here 46% people are telling that we are not getting credit because we don't have documents. So rest of the figures are zero. So moving ahead, in 2006, RBI has announced a product, a service that is called a banking correspondent. It is a banking correspondent is a person engaged by banks to visit villages or far-flung areas to provide easily banking services to the people. So here we have asked slums in both the cities in Lucknow and Kolkata that do you know about banking correspondent? Is there any person coming to you? Hello? 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 Am I audible to you?
Yes, yes, you're audible.
Okay, I was thinking that you are not listening to me. Sorry.
No, 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 I'm listening you. And there is a question actually regarding your presentation because
Yes.
it's related right now. Dr. Aniruddha Burman would like to ask whether you are presenting this data, whether the cases are similar for both the cities in Lucknow and Kolkata.
No, there are some differences. There are some
Fine,
differences.
fine, fine.
Here I am, sharing the study in comparative basis. It is one of the part of my study. I have done, my study in different parts. So if the professor is having, any question, I can, answer him separately about that question.
Sure.
Are you?
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yes, please go ahead.
So in 2006, the government of India, with the help of central bank RBI, they have engaged a person called banking correspondent. Her duty was to visit rural areas, visit far-flung areas, so that this banking will become easy. So in case of slums, we have asked them, do you have any concept, or in your locality is any person coming from the bank and telling you about the saving facilities, or you are using this banking correspondent facility? So only 2% people told yes. 64% people, they don't have any concept. They said no, and 33% people are unaware about banking correspondent. Similarly, we have asked other question that because you are poor people, your life condition is very worse. We have asked a question: how you are managing your budget? If you are having less income, you need money. Where from you are getting loan and credit if you are not part of formal banking system? So 97% people told we are taking from friends and relatives, and 3% told we are not availing from anywhere. So the next question which we have asked, if you look at vertically, these are about insurance products. We are asking them about awareness, holding, and transactions. If you see here, none of the slums are aware about these products. So the rest of the two are not any means to explain them. So they are here not aware about these products which are common. So moving next. So reason is why don't you have insurance? So 57% people said that they don't have insurance because they are lacking knowledge. 43% told that they are lacking the money. So here we are asking about pension products, that do you have awareness? So here again it is 0 0, that they don't have any knowledge about these, neither they are aware. Then we have asked, why don't you have pension account? Again 99% people are claiming that they are not having suitable or this assets or income to have a pension account. Now I will talk about beggars. The condition among beggars is very worse. Here if you see, only 6% of beggars among 100 are aware, 0% are holding financial products, and zero transaction. Similarly, these products, very products, financial deposit, fixed deposits, credit cards, all are zero. So we will move ahead. So we have asked beggars why you have not availed credit or loan facility. 2% beggars told no need of credit. 33% people are unaware. 31 are claiming that procedures are difficult in the bank. 26% people, they don't have necessary documents. 8% people told other reasons. Similarly, we have asked them, do you know about banking correspondent? Only 1% among 100 beggars told yes, I am aware. 37% people are unaware. They don't know about this banking correspondent. 62% are unaware. So similarly, we have asked that what are the reasons why are you not availing these banking services through these banking correspondents? 2% people told we don't trust them, and 98% told other reason. So if you see other financial products, this frequency, this loan from other sources, 97% are taking from loan from friends. So it is it is mixing. So I will if you look at this table here, these two rows, so it is telling they are getting credit from 97% are getting credit from friends, and 3% are not availing. Then there is other, this question is other, that life insurance, pension insurance, and all. So this is nil, again nil for these people. So here if you see this corner, there is one more question: reasons why don't you have insurance? 43% beggars are claiming that they are lacking knowledge about insurance, and 57% they don't have earnings to have a insurance account. So similarly, we have asked, have you ever made any claim under following policies like personal accident, employees provident fund? So it is all zero, nil. not having earnings our money 98%. So we will skip it. Now it is important. We have asked about documents. We have tried to find out what is the excess of documents, which documents these slums are having and which documents they are not having. So we have asked about passport. It is nil. So it is irrelevant question here, because as we are talking about poor people and poorest of the poor, but we have kept this question whether they are having access of passport. 100% people don't have any passport. We have asked about driving lessons. Among slum, 77% people are told that yes they are possessing driving lessons. 93% don't. Then we have asked PAN card. 22% people are having access of PAN card. 78% don't have. So then we have asked about voter ID. 91% people are having voter ID, that is having bigger access in these documents, and 8.66% don't have. Then we have asked Narega job card, only 1%. Then this Aadhaar, it is again 91%. Aadhaar and this, it is almost maximum in both. So these other documents, identity cards issued, photographers or gazetted officers. So if you look at this question, it again shows that poor people don't have necessary documents to the banking. Although they have voter ID and Aadhaar card on which they can open bank accounts, but while getting credit, they need other documents which they are missing. Similarly, in case of beggars, we have asked that whether you have driving license one. So we will also focus here voter ID. 46% people are having voter ID among beggars. 50%, 54% don't have. Similarly, Aadhaar only 36%. So in case of beggars, it shows that the performance of Aadhaar and voter ID is not too much beautiful. The results are minimum. So these poor urban poor people, which are dependent on the people who are begging, asking people for food and money, they are not having official documents. So now we have asked here this scheme wise access. The first very scheme is Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana scheme. We have asked questions to beggars that are you aware about Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana? It is going from 2014. So only 24% till 2019 ending September, I have collected the data. Only 25% beggars are aware and 75% are not. Then these are the steps of this Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. Then we have asked, do you have Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana account? Only 1% of beggars, 99. Then rupee card, only 1%. The rest of the facilities which are granted or given under Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, these are totally missing in case of beggars, provident fund and all. So now the figures are a bit better in case of slums. 63% people among slums are aware about Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, and only 25% beggars are having bank account. So, but government is, if we look at official reports, government is claiming that under Jan Dhan Yojana account, 98% people have opened bank accounts in India. So if we cross check these populations with that government, so I think there is some missing information, some ground reality is not coming. So there are there may be questions, I will answer them. So only 25% people are having Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana account. 9% people among them are having rupee debit card, and 4% people are depositing, which are making active those accounts, who are making transactions within there. Only 4% people are depositing in those accounts. So 0.33% have got the benefits of accidental insurance within this scheme. And if you see, the figures are very less. So yes, we will move ahead now. Then we have asked about Mudra Yojana scheme. Mudra Yojana, under Mudra Yojana scheme, government is giving about 10 lakh loan or credit to the micro small business corporations, or if a person is running a small business unit like a vending shop, they can get up to 10 lakh rupees. Or somebody wants to have a rickshaw, or some economic activity wants to do. So government has announced it in 2015 in their budget. Mudra Yojana scheme, under which they are granting up to 10 lakh as a credit. So if you look in case of beggars, it is totally missing. None of the beggars, they don't are aware, neither they are registered, and the reasons are different. So it is totally missing. So in case of slums, if we see, 10% people are aware about Mudra Yojana, 3% people are registered within this scheme, and 5% people reasons for not registered. 5% people, you know, told the reasons, other are unaware. So if you see, only 1% people have got Mudra loan among slum category. There are different categories. So if you see, look at this table from here to here. So the figures, maximum figures, they don't have any knowledge about this Mudra Yojana scheme. So moving the other schemes, now we have asked them about Atal Pension Yojana scheme. So none of the beggars are having any access. 100% beggars, they don't have any access. They don't have any knowledge, and they don't have any awareness about these. These are the questions, and monthly premium, it is nil. Applied for Atal Pension Yojana, it is nil. So no need to explain it further. So in case of slums, if you look, applied for Atal Pension Yojana, zero name. So they are aware here. They know about the premiums. In case of slums, there is awareness, but they are not holding this scheme. So now sharing with you the figure descriptive statistics, what are the participation of these populations. I have tried to check that. Let us check what is the statistical significance by putting raw figures before you in economics or statistics or in research. It is not it is it is not given any this. It is not known that it is a better result that you are putting descriptive statistics and here and there. So by applying statistics, people are we can understand by sharing the statistical techniques, how significant are the participation of these people with respect these products, and what is the statistical significance in percentage figures. It is not giving us too much understanding about the participation of this scheme. So I have used chi-square test, making the hypothesis testing. I have used chi-square test. These are the variables: education, occupation, gender, income, age, documents, and economic status. So here our core hypothesis was that these variables, they are not playing any significant role in having financial inclusion or financial access. So our null hypothesis has been rejected in case of education, in case of documents, age, income. Those who the figures which are in black, here our null hypothesis has been rejected, which shows that education, documents, age, income, and economic status of the people is playing a significant role in having a banking access, in having a bank account, in having a credit. But two variables, occupation and gender, they are indifferent. They are not deciding factors to have a financial inclusion. These are the results of chi-square testing. So moving further, I have developed a model. So check these statistics in a model. I have used a the binary logistic model. These are the variables which I have used in this model. Access means here having Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana account to the people. So here it is a dichotomous. This variable is dichotomous in nature. One claims that a person who is having a bank account, and zero otherwise who don't have. Similarly, in case of male, one is male representing male, zero is representing female, and same wise, one is illiterate, zero is literate, one is casual labor, other is other occupations. Similarly, in case of education, one represents higher education and zero lower income, higher income and lower income. In case of cost, one represents lower cost and zero represents upper cost. So here is the variable documents, one those who don't have documents, and zero who are possessing documents, and age, young age, and adult age. These are the variables which I have used in my model. So this is the econometric model, this mathematical equation. So yi is equal to beta 0, x1 represents all these dependent variables which I have explained back in slide, and yi financial excess. So AI is error term. Everybody of all know this is the structure of the model. So I will give the explanation in the next slide. So by running, we have estimated this model on odd ratios. So this zero, these zeros represent the proxy terms. So this result is in case of male. It represents the male population. So it is showing 72% people are having chances of bank account in case of male. So here we are missing almost 29%. Females are having less probability to have a bank account in case of male population. So similarly, if we check, but it is insignificant as in our hypothesis testing, the gender was insignificant. It is not determining variable to decide financial inclusion. But our binary logistic regression model shows it is claiming that women, females are having 29% less chances to have a bank account in case of male. Similarly, if we look at the other variable education, which is the two stars here mentions that it is significant at 5% level of significance. It shows that 48% uh, illiterate people are having 48% less chances to have banking account, and which is significant at 5%. In case of occupation, it is insignificant. So let us talk about income. So lower income people are having 70% less chances to have a bank account. So these are the models. So in case of cost, it is not again a determining factor. So therefore, now I will share findings with you. The banking access among slums is only 17% found in both the populations from Lucknow and Kolkata. In case of beggars, 98% they don't have any access. 98% slums are lacking money to have a bank account. 97% are lacking documents to open a bank account in case of beggars. So the second finding is the access of documents from slums and beggars. Aadhaar card is, for both the population, 90% people are having access of Aadhaar card and this voter ID. In case of, beggars, only 36% are having Aadhaar card and 91% are having, among slums. So recent financial inclusion schemes, the excess of these schemes, only 25% among slums are having bank account, and only 1% of beggars are having bank account, access to bank account. So the other schemes, 1% of slums is having access to Mudra scheme, and for beggars it is totally nil. Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana, and Atal Pension Yojana, both the population, slums and beggars, they don't have any access in to the from both the cities. So if we look about caste wise, in case of beggars and slums, there are caste. 40% of SC castes who are having bank account, 50% are ST, and 40% are OBCs, those who are having banking access. So if we see gender wise, 22.17% males are having bank account, while 31.96% females are having bank account. So education wise, the banking access, 31.09% people are literate who are having bank account, illiterate who are having bank account, and 60%, 68% people who are literate having bank account. If we look at the occupation wise, the casual labor is having 21.7% people who are having bank account. The other occupation, 73% who are having bank account. Similarly, if we look at the income, people who are having income from 10,000 to 60,000 rupees, they are having 39% access to bank account. People who are having maximum income from 61,000 to 10,000 rupees, they are having 61%. So this variable income determines higher the income, higher are the chances of having bank account. So our hypothesis, lastly, our hypothesis testing also reveals that demographic parameters like age, education, gender, income, cost, and documents are important variables which are determining financial access, banking access, or financial inclusion, except occupation and gender. So the conclusion of this study is that poor people are not indifferent in comparison to other populations as rich people or middle income classes. Poor people are same, their behavior is same, they also want to have a bank account, better education, better documents, better housing. So they should be provided need-based financial products. As our city is talking about financial inclusion, they should be, provided need-based financial products as per their circumstances. They need overall development. They don't need financial products just for overcome the problems of uncertainty and earning. So now question arises, what is the contribution of my study? How it will add to the world of scientific knowledge and how it will be helpful for the policymakers and general public? This study is a first-hand study, first-hand investigation, which have tried to access recent financial inclusion schemes, Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana and Atal Pension Yojana and so on. So the study contributes that ultra poor does not need financial participation for granted. They need products suitable for them as per their capabilities. Banking participation of poor does not work until and unless we have policies and programs which guarantees to collapse, finish the problem of poverty, and make all-round development in all spheres of of their life among the poorest of the poor. Thank you. So the stage is, I have finished my presentation. I will be waiting for question and answer.
Wonderful presentation. Thank you so much, Firdous. Thank you so much for this wonderful presentation. And it's actually full of information. Not only that, the methodological part is very, very, very important. So, just a moment.
Can I stop my presentation?
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah. So we have some question and some observation. Most of the participants over here, they're very happy with your presentation. So we had a very good feedback, and if you want, I will share the feedback later on with you. We have some question from Dr. Aniruddha Burman. What about the self-help groups? He would like to ask about the self-help group. I'm not sure about Lucknow or UP, but I would like to believe self-help groups are doing a lot of good work in different parts of West Bengal and hence in Kolkata. So have you worked on self-help group in Kolkata particularly or in other parts of the West Bengal? Thank you so much, Dr. Burman, for pointing out the question.
Yeah, it is actually a very important question, but my study is totally focusing on, slums and beggars. So in case of slums and beggars from both the cities, I didn't find any, self-help group. Self-help group are working in microfinance. They have done tremendous work, but in case of these populations within my sample size, I didn't find any self-help group which is active, in dealing these financial, support, which are providing financial services or having access as a group to these services. I didn't find among my, study.
Okay. Aman, would you like to share some of your experience in the self-help group and microfinancing so we can have been enlightened? Dr. Burman, are you with us?
Can you hear me?
Yes, Dr. Burman, please.
Firdous, that's a nice presentation. You have made a lot of hard work actually. You're tremendous.
Thank you,
work
sir.
you have made here. Because my question is, what I observe with the self-help groups is they do help a lot in the slum areas. I'm not sure of the beggars. I'm not sure
Yes,
about
sir.
that because I have not made any study. Self-help groups I've seen because they give a lot of loan and they have their own bank accounts.
Yeah.
They do help each other a lot in such cases.
Yes.
And all other works like this 100-day work and the job cards and all. I'd like to believe in West Bengal. Hopefully, the same should be in Kolkata also. I'm not too sure of Lucknow or UP really. Uh, they do have a lot of work. They do have their bank accounts and the zero credit accounts. There is very
Yeah,
much there that's been made. So I'm not sure, like it doesn't reflect in your study here.
yeah,
Maybe I'm not sure, like your how you made your samples.
yeah.
So that
Actually,
would be my
yeah,
question. Yes.
yeah. Actually, your question is very interesting question, and there are lot of studies have been carried by, on self-help groups. In case of while collecting my data, I have went to some bank managers within the two cities. I have asked them why they don't have participation if we are having products and schemes whose focus is to include these urban poor, why they are absent. So I got from Kolkata, I got feedback that you are educated, you should not ask such a stupid question. So I told them, sir, I want to hear. He told there are privacies, but I will share, but you will promise me that you will not. He was a bank manager. He told me that you will not mention my name. So these are the factors from this Kolkata. He told me this Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, it is actually a documented scheme. It it guarantees certain services, certain promises to the people, but its motive was more political. In that very scheme, government was claiming that we will give 15 lakh to this per individual who is having this Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana account, who will open the account. So people have opened the account. Then they were not able to continue that very account, because there were provisions in Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana account that if you successfully run their account for 6 months, you will get withdrawal facility of 5,000. And that manager told me that we have not any provision where from this 5,000 rupees come to our bank. As I am a manager, I am from other city. I came here as a manager. So my job is to run the bank profitably. I have to get one more promotion. So if I will grant loans and banking services to the poor whose socio-economic conditions are uncertain and they are not reliable, consumers, we cannot believe them as per their socio-economic conditions that they will uh, pay their loans back. So it is a political, there was political approach, political motive to have a Jan Dhan Yojana account. It is, although it is a better product to include these very poor. Yes, my data collection, now question arises how I have collected the data. Actually, slums as per NSSO, National Sampling Survey Organization, they have divided slum populations in two categories. So one is notified slums and other is non-notified slums. While collecting the sample size, if our sample size is finite, if we know the population, we can apply any sampling technique then to collect our representative sample. So the problem here is we don't know the exact population in our country, how many slums are, and the data collection organization like the NSSO, they are also not certain. So for that very purpose, I have used stratified simple random sampling. I have made three stratas in both the regions. From Kolkata, I have collected data from this Patoli region. I have Patoli town, Patoli, and there is one more place I forgot the name. This maybe Highland Park.
Highland Park, yes.
Yeah. So
That's a
these
very
are the
famous place for, yeah, slum dwellers. So
yeah
I'm just going to stop you. Sorry to interfere. We have three questions from Professor Leeladhar Gaikwad. He would like to ask, what can you suggest for poor men who didn't get the benefit of these services?
yeah. Actually, what can I suggest to the poor people? So it is actually, reverse question. Question should be, what can I suggest to the policymakers so that,
That's right.
it can be
Absolutely.
inclusive.
Absolutely.
So there is, a big mismatch between, supply driven policies and, the demand of these policies. So if you look at my presentation, most of the people are unaware about these products. And most of the people among these, populations, they claim they don't have money. So here to target their financial access or financial inclusion, we don't need only one, policy to include them financial inclusion. We have given them zero, balance bank account. To open a bank account, you don't need any charge. But they are not capable. We need a scheme or a product which should be connected each other. We have to focus on spectrum of development. The spectrum of development is, we have to, take care of their income, their occupation. We have to take care of their, health, their education of their children, and their daily earnings. If we put the same phenomena on these, this migrant laborers who have been suffered a lot because of this pandemic, what they are losing, they have lost their jobs. And if we try to, put them in the same criteria, let us suppose these are the, migrant populations, and they don't have savings and bank accounts. Now the pandemic is since last 4 months. So where from they are earning, where from they are getting income? So here people are giving, rehabilitating them, they are collecting donations, they are collecting food, and on social media they are highlighting that people, organizations, rich people from Bollywood, our government is, providing ANUs to these people. But these, ANUs are not sufficient. Government is providing them, food security. They are giving some, 4 kg, 10 kg rice. They are giving this Pradhan Mantri Jandan account holders 500 rupees per month. That is not sustainable. How come them they carry during this pandemic, which has increased, the health expenditures of these people? They need sanitizer. It is a, it is
Thank you,
sanitizer. Yeah.
Firdous. Firdous, we have two more questions, but due to time constraint, I would like to have one question from Taposh Behra, sir. Is there any scheme for unemployed citizens which they need to be aware of so that we can drive them out from uncertainties?
No, actually, in case of urban poor people, in case of, a ruler, this MG Narega is there, but it is again the problem of MG Narega in rural areas is, it is not a permanent job. It is of 100 days promise,
100 days work,
and
yes.
yeah, 100 days
Yes.
promise, and it is uncertain. Why people will go 100 days
But
job?
again,
And
it's kind of uncertainty. After 100
yeah,
days, we're not
uncertainty.
sure that whether they will continue to able
And
their
uh,
work or not. So
yeah,
it's kind of uncertainties is always been there. So
yeah.
nothing kind of a permanent work we can suggest for them. So we have another question that for the ranking purpose, Atiba Batul would like to ask a research scholar in economics also. I don't know whether you are colleagues or friends. A question that if you have to rate the inclusiveness within a range from 1 to 10, how much inclusive do you find financial inclusion in the two states according to your study?
Yeah, actually, to rate, these populations as per the figures are showing, it is under 1. Hello, am I audible?
You're audible. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, let me, reform this question. I will answer it, in otherwise. So while we are, calculating financial inclusion index, which I have applied in the secondary data collected from the World Bank, the performance of India altogether, we are ranging from 0 to 1. The 1 means better. If the country is tenders towards 1, is, more financial inclusion, and if it is 0, it is less. And there, this Professor Marindra from JNU, she has, done the very, foundation study of financial inclusion, which is, cited across the globe. So she has categorized this financial inclusion performance into three. 0 to 0.3 is lower, less financial inclusion. 3 plus to 7, it is, medium financial inclusion. And above 7 to 1, it is, full or highest financial inclusion. So if we apply same in case of our population, I think they are lying, in the first stage 0 to 3. So within 0 to 3, I will claim that they are, moving between 0 to 0.1.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this wonderful presentation. We are almost at the end of the discussion. So I'm really sorry, Arshia. I would not allow any more question to Firdous. So Firdous, I really request to write your email ID in the chat box. So if anybody would like to connect with you directly for your work, for your presentation, for your dissertation, because it's a really hard work you have done. So if anybody would like to connect with you through this web platform for dialogue, that's, I think, main motto of this web platform for dialogue. And I really request all of you, please stay with us. And if anybody would like to share your comment, your suggestion, please submit your feedback form. Thank you so much for this wonderful, because you have done a wonderful work for your PhD. And I wish you all the best for your upcoming life, because I am sure that policymakers in India would definitely include this kind of PhD work in their as a suggestions, because that is the lacking point for the Indian policymakers, that lots of good work, lots of hard work the PhD students are doing, but they are not capable, or they are not actually providing them the space in their study. So thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. I'm really overwhelmed to hear you, particularly your work. And it's an in-depth work, particularly very informative, very in-depth work. So all the best for your study. And I'm really happy that all of you are present here for this wonderful, evening, because today we are celebrating. Though we are not in a celebration mode, but at least we can hear a wonderful presentation today from Firdous Malik, a wonderful research scholar in the field of economics, who are doing excellent work in inclusive cities. Thank you so much, all of you who have been presented today.
Thank you very much. Can I have a word?
Yes, please.
I will request all participants if they can open their camera so that we can have a group photo.
Wonderful.
And
please do.
so
I will love to click. I will love to click. Yes.
if all participants, I am requesting if they can, on their camera to have a group photo.
Yeah,
So,
please. I request all of you to kindly click on your camera for a second. So I will click a group photo and I will post in Facebook with your permission. If anybody would like to, not like to, so they can off it. Otherwise, it's a willingness.
lastly, okay, thank you everyone.
Yeah,
And hope.
thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care. Love you.
Okay, bye bye.